Hey everyone. Okay, so Steven had a really good question. Let me read your domain issue question here so that way other people using Locator IQ can learn at the same time. Isn't that efficient? Okay, so hey Pierre, I'm being told two things by your support. Option number one for your domain. Okay, my WordPress website, abcrealty.com, goes down and is built on Locator IQ platform. Would this make the functionality more seamless with connecting everything since it's all through one system and cost effective? So let me answer that before moving on, Stephen. We can create a website for you, or you can unlock the website feature in general and create your own website. We do provide templates because we're connected to like a template providing partner. So that helps. Hopefully, you can find a template and then tweak it, right, and create every single page. So we can give you the ability, if you want to like save money, try to create your own website, start with one of our free templates. We can do that. Usually the website building functionality on Locator IQ is reserved for brokerage firm level, and that's like the 500 a month. The reason we do that is because a lot of solo agents usually don't invest in a full-blown website, because that costs money. It costs thousands of dollars to have a traditional full-blown website, right? Uh, like for the first 4 years of my career, I didn't even have a website. I just used the sales funnel to generate my leads, pre-qualify them, and close, right? And book on my Zoom and my calendar. So you don't really need a website. If you have one, it is a good idea to eventually have a traditional website to build SEO, website authority, and then gain that search engine optimization space over time. So websites are good ideas, but they're not necessary. Now, you have a WordPress website that you've probably already invested a lot of money in, Stephen. Okay, so your question is, hey, do I need to just redesign my website inside of Locator IQ? Because IQ can be a website builder for you. And would that make it easier to tie in with the rest of your systems in IQ, like your calendar, your surveys, your automations, and all that stuff? Well, yeah. I mean, if you build a website on Locator IQ, we have even more automation options to do. Like if you go to, let me show you what I'm talking about. So this will help you put it into perspective. Okay, like if you're inside of automation drip right here. Okay, you see the automation tab. We have a lot of automation triggers and really smart like things you can do when you host a website inside of Locator IQ, right? So it opens you up to more options with your automation. You can send emails, send text, follow up with people, try to book an appointment depending on the actions they take on your website, because we can monitor your website traffic. So you can do really cool things with paid advertisements as well. You can say, hey, start this automation if people have visited my website and scrolled all the way down. You can do another automation in IQ where it's like, hey, if people are returning back to the website, then fire off this automation. So you do get more functionality inside of building automations if your website is built and hosted inside of IQ, right? So yeah, I mean, technically, and then you could save money because, well, in your case, you already have a website built, so you're not going to save money. But if you were starting from scratch and you built a website on Locator IQ, it would be cost effective. And so I guess your question is, would it be more seamless? Yeah. Now, you have a WordPress website, though. So let me show you what we're doing with that. If you go to funnels in Locator IQ right here, and then you see that we have a WordPress submenu. So this is a WordPress hosting dashboard. You're probably asking yourself, like, if Locator IQ lets you build websites and host them, why would we have a WordPress dashboard? Like, what's the point in that? Here's the thing. WordPress was like one of the most original website builders. And WordPress has the most plugins and like professionals that can really craft a really amazing website from scratch. So the difference between like a Locator IQ or Wix or Squarespace or GoDaddy website, those are made to be easy to create. WordPress is, you have to be a serious hardcore coder to like complete a website. Have you guys tried to create a WordPress website? It's super, super hard and not for beginners. But the reason people build WordPress websites is because they have more function, more flexibility, more things they can do inside of a website builder, right? So a lot of like nerdy coders prefer to build on a WordPress website because of all the plugins they have, right? It's not really a big deal though if you're just a real estate agent and you want a great website, you want it to be easy. I would recommend just doing it on IQ. All right. So here's the thing though. We as a company understand that one of the largest, some people just, when they make a WordPress website, they never leave because they really, really like their WordPress website. They probably invested a lot of money. So if you have an awesome WordPress website and you want to keep it on WordPress because you might have a bunch of plugins already connected to it and you don't want to mess with it, then that's why we let you host and put in your WordPress credentials directly inside of IQ so you can access your WordPress website easier through our CRM, because WordPress, we know they're the leader, right? That's why we give you the option to use our server to host your WordPress website, okay? A lot of people make WordPress websites, and that's fine, but the number one thing that WordPress website users do wrong is selecting the wrong host. Because when you build a website on WordPress, it doesn't come with built-in hosting, right? Like if you create a website on like Wix or Squarespace, those are the easy sites. So they like offer hosting inside of your membership. But WordPress doesn't really, right? You have to like first you have to build your website on WordPress, then you have to go get a host to like host it, keep it live, and protect it from hackers. We're getting really nerdy now. But a lot of people like build a website on WordPress and they don't really have a good host. So that's like the number one mistake. So if you guys want to put in your WordPress credentials inside of IQ, we can actually host your WordPress website as well through our server provider, which is Google. Okay, that's what powers Locator IQ. So it's fast and reliable, right? So that if you want us to host your WordPress, it's $29 a month. It's not really a way for us to make money. We're just sharing our super fast Google server with and hosting your website. The more and more students and IQ customers that end up letting us host their website inside of here, it's going to cost us more money down the line sharing our server. That's why it has to be $29 a month, just so like we can cover the server usage, right? So it's $29 a month if you want us to host your WordPress website and just keep it on there. And we've built in this little section here to where you can still access your WordPress site. You can add your domain to it, and then you can still access it, right? WordPress login, boom. So to make it easy for people that don't want to switch. Hopefully that long explanation taught you something. All right, let's see. Option 2, bypass the Locator IQ and keep the website on WordPress. With this, you guys are offering a $29 a month hosting through WordPress. Is that a going better rate? So it's not through WordPress. The $29 a month we charge you, so you're using our Google server to host your WordPress site. It's the same server that powers IQ, right? So it's $29 a month if you want us to host it, or you could just host it yourself, right? But that's how you get like easy access inside of WordPress right here, okay? It costs you $29 a month. Let me continue reading your question here. Okay, I don't want to lose my abcrealty.com domain website or transition to the long URL you guys have on the premium plan. abcrealty.locatoriq.vip. So actually, if you're on Locator IQ Premium, you can add your own domain into Locator IQ, and then it's not going to be like a long, this will go away. We're only doing this now for the basic IQ plan. So if your website, let's say, is abcrealty.com, then it'll be abcrealty.com. We're not going to add the extra URL. That's only for basic accounts now. So Locator IQ Premium and Brokerage, it'll be your own domain. Okay, so that solves that problem for you. Am I just doing all of this through Cloudflare DNS? Is that right? Basically, you use that DNS without even linking your domain with Locator IQ. Incorrect. That doesn't make any sense. So all of this was not correct. Currently, I set up my domain to use cloudflare.com DNS directly, not through Locator IQ. Okay, so all of this didn't make sense. I don't think you understand the concept. So it's okay. I'm here to explain it to you, right? So you have two things when it comes to a website, okay? Let me explain the two things to you right now. The first thing you have is the company that is going to be your webmaster. So it's going to allow you to create a website and log in and log out and that. Okay? So, webmasters are like Wix, GoDaddy, Squarespace, what's another one? Locator IQ. Those are ClickFunnels, right? Those are all webmasters. You can create websites and stuff and log in and out there. Now, in order to so that's your website, but you also have a domain that you're going to attach to the website. Okay? The domain has to be stored somewhere. Usually it's a company that hosts domains. That's called a DNS. The DNS is a domain name server. Okay? So you got a webmaster and a DNS and a domain name server, right? So a lot of these companies you see like GoDaddy, right, and Squarespace, they're a webmaster and a DNS. That's what's confusing you, right? Because you think that everyone does both, but it's really separate, right? So, for instance, if usually DNS providers are like DigitalOcean, Google, Squarespace acts like a DNS as well. Cloudflare, which is the best every time, and these are DNS hosting. Like they'll host your domain, not your website all the time. Okay, so understand the difference. There's a webmaster and there's a DNS provider. Now, what we're teaching in the onboarding course, since we understand digital marketing at an expert level, is that everyone, including us, should have their DNS, the domain name server provider, be Cloudflare. Because Cloudflare is the fastest every single time, the most protection, and the most coverage. So even if you got users that are international, your website is still fast. They're the best, okay? So you and me should both have our domain, abcrealty.com, on Cloudflare. Like that should be our DNS provider. Now, the webmaster can be anyone you want. It can be WordPress, it can be Wix, it can be Locator IQ. So, in your case, it's WordPress. Okay, so you've got WordPress as your webmaster, and you have Cloudflare that's giving life to your domain. Then you're going to attach them, right? So you can attach them, and then Cloudflare. Now the third thing, other than the webmaster, the DNS, is like who is going to host your website. WordPress will host your own website for you. How do I make this not confusing though? Let's see. So this is my setup. I'm trying to make this like not confusing since you guys are just successful real estate agents. You're not a real estate agent and a digital marketing nerd like myself. So how do I explain this in easy terms? Okay, let's look at my setup. Okay, my webmaster is myself, Locator IQ. Okay, my DNS provider is Cloudflare. That's where I store all of my domains. Okay, so webmaster, Locator IQ, DNS provider, Cloudflare. Now, the third thing is who's hosting my Locator IQ or all my websites? Google is, right? And now you're probably really confused. You're like, why are you going through all these different companies? Well, certain companies do better at certain things. Cloudflare is the #1 best DNS server. So like everyone should use Cloudflare for a DNS, right? You've got companies like Squarespace that like they're a DNS provider, they're a webmaster, you know, they host the website, they do all three things. And that's why you're confused. But the best DNS server ever is always Cloudflare. So that's why even I have Cloudflare, right? Now, the next thing you need is a webmaster. And my webmaster is myself, Locator IQ. Then the third thing you need is a company that specializes in hosting websites. We use Google for that. Because Locator IQ, we're an all-in-one CRM and a webmaster, but we don't get into like hosting websites. We piggyback off of Google. So I have Google as my website host, Cloudflare as my DNS, and then Locator IQ as my webmaster. Okay, and so in your case, you have Cloudflare as your DNS, WordPress as your webmaster, and then who's hosting your website? Probably WordPress as well. So you got WordPress is both your webmaster and your host, and then the third thing is Cloudflare. Hopefully that helps you understand. So yeah, if you want to simplify everything and just move your whole website over to Locator IQ, you'll have to reproduce it inside of Locator IQ and like make it. Maybe pay someone on Fiverr. You can pay us to do it. We can take your website and then migrate it over to Locator IQ so it lives there and you get more functionality. But the domain, your DNS server, Cloudflare, that should just stay the same. Just park all of your domains at Cloudflare always, so you don't have to move that. Hopefully that was helpful. So if there is no any other integration benefit by connecting it to Cloudflare through Locator IQ, would you shed some light on this with the functionality on which option? Apologize for the novel. Okay, yeah, you're still like, these paragraphs both didn't make sense because you're just probably confused. It's okay. So what you can do, man, is you can keep your WordPress site where it is, and then if you want us to host it through our Google server, then it'll open this up so you can like put in all your credentials here and at least like have a way to get in your WordPress inside of Locator IQ. You could do that, okay? Or you could pay someone on Fiverr or pay us to just try to replicate your website and make it inside of Locator IQ. That way you'll have the same setup that I do. Your webmaster is Locator IQ, your DNS is Cloudflare, and your website host is Google. That's the same setup I have. That's what you ought to do. So it's up to you though. There's no wrong answer. Maybe you don't want to keep spending money on moving your website around, so then just keep it at WordPress. But if you do want to streamline everything, consolidate everything, and have your website also live in Locator IQ, you're going to have to pay to move it over. So those are kind of your options there. I think I've answered that. Let me show you what it looks like. So if you want to try to make your own website and duplicate it yourself, for $50 a month, we can unlock the website building templates and functionality in your subscription. So then you don't have to pay anyone. You don't have to pay anyone on Fiverr. You don't have to pay us. You can just try to do it yourself. And then to have the website feature in IQ, it's $50 more a month. That's like the lowest cost way of doing it. Okay? And so let me show you here. Ready? So we're inside of the websites right now. This is the website, right? So you see all your website pages here. This is Locator IQ right now. Okay? So let me show you. LocatorIQ.vip. This is where people sign up to our CRM. This is the website. Okay? So boom, they can do pricing, and it's a multi-page website build with a chat widget. We also give you a chat widget. It's free. It's free. Okay? So there's my website. This is what it looks like on the back end. I've got my homepage, pricing, features, my demo, and then my subscription options right here, and a thank you page. Okay, this is where my website lives. So I've got a website setting. Okay, there's my domain, LocatorIQ.vip, my favicon. So it looks like the same as a sales funnel builder, but it's a website. Okay, so we can unlock this for you, and you can try to build your own website. If you want, it's $50 more a month, or you can pay us to try to duplicate it over, but then that gets costly. So it's up to you. Or you can do nothing and just leave it in WordPress if you want. But it is easier to have everything in IQ, okay? Hopefully that was helpful. And let me know if you have any other questions. There's a couple options on what you can do. There's not really a wrong answer. But you were asking, like, would it be easier if I just had my website in Locator IQ? Well, yeah, because then you get more like functionality inside the automations, right? So you could do, let me see if I can show you. There's just a lot more, a lot smarter things you can do as triggers, right? So you could do, like, look at this website page view. If someone looks at a certain page, you can fire off automations without having to do code, like custom code for that stuff on like a third-party website. So yeah, I mean, it would be easier if you had a website on Locator IQ, but the option is yours. Okay. Hopefully that was helpful. Sorry that this was so long. Domain stuff is kind of hard to explain for people to get in an easy way. But the biggest takeaway is that there's a webmaster, there's a DNS provider, and there's a website hosting company. So there's 3 core services. Everyone gets really confused because companies like GoDaddy or Squarespace, they try to do all 3. So people are like, I don't understand. I'm hosting my domain and everything in Squarespace. So they do everything. So then you're getting confused. You're like, what is Cloudflare? Why do I need them as a DNS? Squarespace does everything for me, right? So that's why everyone gets confused. But what you should know is there's a webmaster, there's a DNS domain name server provider, and a website hosting company. Those are all usually like 3 different services, right? So what we do, again, is Google is like our CRM server website host. I just like Google for hosting websites and stuff and databases. So I'm on Google. My DNS, my domain name server, number 2, I keep all of my domains on Cloudflare because they're just the best industry-wide. I got more protection, more speed, etc. And then the third thing is like, well, now who is my webmaster? Well, I'm my own webmaster. I use Locator IQ, right? So hopefully that was helpful. Here's another example. Maybe ClickFunnels, you created a website. So ClickFunnels is your webmaster. Who's your DNS server? Maybe it's Cloudflare. You've got your domains on Cloudflare, but ClickFunnels is your webmaster. Who is your website host? Also ClickFunnels. Because ClickFunnels they like to do both of those things. They like to host their own website through their server. So ClickFunnels will like host your website. They'll be your webmaster, but then they don't do DNS. So you go through like Namecheap or Cloudflare. Does that make sense? That's why it's confusing. That was just another random example. Here, number 3, here's another exercise for you. This would be another random example. Maybe Squarespace is your webmaster because it's so easy to make websites on Squarespace, right? Squarespace also will host your Squarespace website because they do webmaster stuff and website hosting. So you never even know what's happening. So maybe Squarespace is your webmaster and website host provider. And maybe your third DNS provider is Namecheap because you don't know what you're doing with digital marketing. So you're keeping your domains inside of Namecheap, right? When it should be Cloudflare, right? So there's another example. Squarespace, Namecheap, Squarespace. Right? So hopefully that was helpful. Don't get confused. You can just pay us to do everything if you want, or you can just not do anything and keep your setup how it is. Hopefully that was helpful. Let me know if you need to book a call with us if you want to talk further. Bye-bye.